People are just trying to have a good time. If they're famous, like, leave them alone. Hey first-time burners. Today we're going to be talking about what you can expect at Burning Man, including tips and etiquette and history and how to really just like keep it together, how to get through it, how to get into it, and how to enjoy yourself and stay safe. It's an experience that you unlikely ever have had before, and every burn is unique, so it's an experience unlike you ever will have. Now, if you are going to Burning Man for the first time, get ready to have a lot of fun. Prepare for the fun. Prepare for ups, prepare for downs, prepare to be self-reliant. It's like, it's an experience where you're really confronted with yourself, and if you need to do a lot of work on yourself, going to Burning Man is kind of a place where that will be, in a way, accelerated. It's kind of like the veil of truth will just be totally snatched, okay? So everyone you go out there with, you'll be able to see them in their true form, which can be a lot, especially if you go out there with a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a partner. Just know that like Burning Man will show you a lot about yourself, about them, about those around you. That is truth. So just be prepared to realize the good, the bad, and the hideous. It's all part of a good burn, even the bad parts. If you don't have enough bad parts, you know what I mean? If you're going for like pause vibes only, you are not going to have a good burn. That is not part of a balanced nutritional meal. No, Burning Man is just like life. It comes with all of it. It comes with all of it. So don't just expect to be going there having an only good time, because you will see things in people that you might not have bargained for, and that includes yourself. A lot of the experience is fun having, and a lot of it is also suffering. So be prepared to work on yourself. That's what I would say. Be prepared to work on you, and don't let anybody else's trip get in the way of that. The most important thing you can be is self-reliant. So again, that's like with working on yourself. If you came out to Burning Man just to be a sparkle pony, which is, you know, just someone who rides the wave of getting taken care of and getting their feet done and massages and like all this kind of stuff, like you can have that, but you're gonna need to bike to those places. Like you're gonna need to work for that. So be prepared to work, be prepared to bike, be prepared for it to be too hot, too cold, all this kind of stuff, you know what I mean? You really just need to shed the part of your ego that's like, I don't want to do this. And that could be hard, you know? We're not all just like sitting around every day in the desert, biking from place to place. Like it's a whole other planet out there for real. The biggest thing that I learned is like, dude, just go with it. You know what I mean? Like, especially if you're someone who has a solid amount of boundaries and you know what is too far for you and you know what you can go with. When you can go with it, just go with it. Like there are a lot of people who will be wearing clothes you've never seen before and will be wearing a lot of no clothes. And a lot of people will be using tech that you've never seen before. And a lot of people are using no tech. There's so many spectrums going on in all these different dimensions at the same time, like all these spectrums, that it's just like, if you come out there with any idea of being a spectator or being judgmental or like whatever, it's just not going to be groovy for you. Like you will have a much better time if you just go with it. Have as little expectations as possible outside of the realm of preparation and safety. When I was out there, the entire time I was like, this is pretty rad, you know? I was like, that's rad, like, okay, I see you. Okay, drone show, you know what I mean? Okay, fairies, okay, witches, okay, art cars, you know what I mean? Okay, animatronics, okay, fire blowing, okay. But it was like the Wednesday of my burn, it clicked. I was like, oh, I get it. I wasn't expecting to internalize it so much, but it was like so much on that one day that I was just like, okay, this is needed. Like, this isn't a festival for partying and like celebration only. It's a lot more than that. And it's a lot of spiritual work I did out there, and a lot of self-reflection, and a lot of life changes I made post-burn. Be ready for that. But there will be a point in your burn where it just clicks and it's like, okay, I see it for what it is. And don't necessarily be expecting to see it right off the bat. You might get there, it might take 2 or 3 days to marinate, you know? So allow yourself that marination period. Don't take too many like volunteer shifts your first, second, third day being there, you know? Let it marinate, get the experience, internalize that, and then do whatever you need to do, you know what I mean? I was speaking Nihongo to people right from a Tokyo camp. I was talking to people about stuff I've never talked about before, because there are so many conferences. One morning I woke up and I went to a flat earthers versus scientists debate. And just like, somebody please show me where. Like, somebody show me like where else I can go that is the world's largest art festival and has 80,000 of the world's just most wildly creative people, specimens, works of art, talking with each other, debating with each other, dancing with each other. It's just a beautiful thing. It's really just like, prepare for it to be one of the most like impactful experiences of your life. Easily. And speaking of the people, Burning Man is not really a networking event, right? So I'm a networker. Hi, me, I'm a networker. I bring my business cards everywhere. I made special stickers for Burning Man last year with my Instagram and like all this kind of stuff on it. I never gave out one. I never gave out my business card to people. I never like tried to promote myself or network. You know, there's a time and a place for it. You'll run into all of the dopest, raddest people you've looked up to your entire life. I saw my favorite artists and performers and some of my favorite pieces in real life. If you go up to someone at a party who's just trying to have a good time and you're trying to have a good time, like, okay, you know, that's how you're going to get to know someone, over coming up to them, giving them your business card or a piece of your art or a paper that you wrote, or you know what I mean? Just don't do it. I've only been one time and I saw people do that like in real life. You get laughed at. Like, there's nothing more uncalled for than trying to shamelessly promote yourself at Burning Man, and there's not that much that's more embarrassing than that. Because like, what you're doing is you're betraying the trust of the event, that everyone is there for, you know, the 10 principles plus consent, having a good time, celebrating art, celebrating each other, trying to promote yourself and push forward and prioritize your agenda. It's not a good look. And if you want to try it out and not listen to me, fine, do that. But you'll see where it gets you. People are just trying to have a good time. If they're famous, like, leave them alone. If you recognize someone, you know what I mean? Be appropriate. They're just like a human there, just like everyone else. They don't know you just because you know them. And there should be like a healthy distance between folks you don't know and specific boundaries, no matter how much you're trying to get into their inbox, trying to get their phone number, trying to get on a collab with them. Because you'll see some people out there, it's like, oh snap. Leave them alone. They're just trying to have a good time. So you could say hey, or better yet, shout out their name. Amanda, Nicholas, FKA. I don't know if FKA Twigs goes to Burning Man, but I could only pray to the cosmos. The last thing that I want to bring up is one of the most all around important things, and that is about respecting the land. When you're at Burning Man, please take into account that you are on stolen land. You are partying on stolen land. You are sleeping on stolen land. You are dancing on stolen land. And people for at least over 10,000 years. People like the Paiute people, who are indigenous to the Black Rock Desert and surrounding areas, have literally had that land snatched out from under them, and it is a privilege to be there amongst the dust and the wind and the heat. But if you do not have respect for all of those elements and for literally like the indigenous spirits that still swirl all over that land, like you'll see all these mini dust tornadoes, and they're believed to be the ancestors of indigenous people. And you'll see that constantly all over you. Respect that. And respect people's beliefs about the desert, and respect the dust itself. I saw so many guys last year I was with just literally not having any reverence or respect for this dust, and you cannot expect it to respect you back if you don't give it respect and reverence in the first place, and if you don't give the people respect, and if you don't acknowledge the fact that you're on stolen land. You know what I mean? You can only be so real with Burning Man if you're lying to yourself. While I was out there, I was thinking about that every day. I was thinking about how the earth felt. I was meditating a lot, and I was just thinking about the history of the land, and I was being really real with myself about that. Like, what does it mean that I'm out here now, you know? So if that's not something you think about on an everyday basis, the history of this country and the theft of the land and the treatment of indigenous peoples and the erasure, you know what I mean? You're out there on that land, you know? And if you don't think about this in everyday life, like maybe it's something to start considering while you're out there and being more thoughtful to that space, because you'll see the dust and the dust will see you. Just be aware of all of that while you're out there, and respect nature and respect the elements, and do not think that you are bigger than any of it, because you're not. You are but a speck in its eye, literally. So yeah, just come with an attitude of respect and reverence and knowledge. The funnest thing about Burning Man is you will literally just become a magnet out there. You will become a magnet to people who are just like you, think just like you, people who aren't like you, but that you groove with, you know what I mean? Like other groovy people who are groovy like you, and you'll just attract all that. So, you know, be aware of what you're attracting, have a good time, make new friends. Everyone's waiting for you. Those are most of my suggestions, but you know, do your thing. If you are preparing right now, I made another video that's all about preparation for Burning Man, so please be sure to watch that, because I keep it real. I keep it very real, even when it comes to sparkles. Thank you so much. Have a rad burn, and I will see you in Black Rock City.